You really thought you could get away with it? The lawyer's voice cut through the room like a blade. Every head turned toward me, including my own family. My cousin smirked. Check her bag. She's always been desperate. My chest tightened. What are you talking about? I didn't take anything. But no one was listening. My aunt stood up, pointing at me like I was a stranger. You were the last one in Grandma's room. And just like that, I wasn't family anymore. I was a thief. What they didn't know was that Grandma never trusted any of them. And she left me something no one else even knew existed. Something hidden. Something that would destroy everything they believed about me. And about themselves. My name is Elena Carter. And in my family, I was always the extra. Not the favorite. Not the successful one. Not the one people bragged about at dinners. That title belonged to my cousin Brianna. Perfect grades, perfect smile, perfect lies, though I didn't know that yet. We lived in different worlds, even though we shared the same last name. They had money connections, respect. I had a small apartment, a part-time job, and a quiet life. But there was one person who never treated me like I was less. Grandma. She used to say, Elena, people show their true faces when money is involved. I always thought she was being dramatic. Until the day she died. The funeral was strange. Not sad. Not really. There were tears, sure, but they felt rehearsed. Like everyone was already thinking about something else. The will. I noticed it immediately. The way my uncle kept whispering to the lawyer. The way Brianna kept checking her phone, barely even looking at Grandma's photo. And the way my aunt avoided eye contact with me entirely. Something felt off. 2 days later, we all gathered at Grandma's house. The same house where I used to bake cookies with her, where she'd tell me stories no one else cared to hear. Now it felt cold. Like the walls knew what was coming. We sat in the living room. Tense. Waiting. The lawyer cleared his throat. Margaret Carter's estate will now be read. Everyone leaned forward. Even me. Even though I didn't expect anything. I never did. Then suddenly, my cousin Brianna stood up. Her voice sharp. There's something missing. The room froze. The lawyer frowned. Excuse me. The diamond bracelet, she said, crossing her arms. Grandma promised it to me. It's not in her jewelry box. A heavy silence filled the room. Slowly, every eye turned toward me. My heart skipped. Why are you all looking at me? I asked, confused. My aunt's voice came out cold. Because you were alone with her yesterday. I blinked. I was saying goodbye. Or taking what you thought no one would notice, Brianna snapped. The accusation hit like a slap. No, I said, shaking my head. I didn't take anything. But doubt had already spread across their faces. Like poison. The lawyer tried to intervene. Let's stay focused. No, my uncle interrupted. This needs to be addressed. He stepped closer. Too close. Empty your bag, Elena. My stomach dropped. Are you serious right now? Unless you have something to hide. The room tightened around me. My own family. Looking at me like I was a criminal. With shaking hands, I placed my bag on the table. Opened it. Pulled everything out. Wallet. Phone. Keys. Silence. For a second, I thought it was over. But then, Brianna laughed. Soft mocking. Guess she hid it somewhere else. And just like that, the damage was done. No apology. No hesitation. Just judgment. Final. Permanent. The lawyer resumed reading the will. But no one was listening anymore. Because in that moment, I wasn't Elena, the granddaughter who stayed by Grandma's side. I was Elena, the one who got caught. Or at least, that's what they believed. But as I sat there, humiliated, heart pounding, I remembered something. Something Grandma told me just a week before she died. Her voice low, serious. Elena, when the time comes, don't trust what they say. Trust what I left for you. At the time, I didn't understand. I wasn't so sure. Because maybe, just maybe, Grandma knew this would happen. And if she did, then what exactly had she left me? And why was it hidden? The whispers started before I could even breathe. She's always been jealous. I knew something was off about her. Each word felt like a needle under my skin. I didn't take it, I said louder this time, my voice cracking. Why would I steal from Grandma? Brianna scoffed. Because you have nothing, Elena. That bracelet is worth more than your entire life. The room went still. That hurt more than the accusation. My uncle shook his head in disappointment. We tried to include you, and this is how you repay us? Include me? I laughed bitterly. You barely acknowledge I exist. Enough, my aunt snapped. You've embarrassed this family enough. Then came the final blow. Search her apartment, Brianna said casually. If she's innocent, she won't mind. I stared at her, stunned. You can't be serious. But they were. Within hours, 2 relatives showed up at my place, going through my drawers, my closet, my privacy. And when they found nothing, they didn't apologize. They just exchanged looks. Suspicious. Unconvinced. Like I had simply hidden it better. That's when I realized this wasn't about the bracelet anymore. They wanted me to be guilty. I didn't go back to Grandma's house after that. I couldn't. My phone kept buzzing, but not with support. Messages like, just admit it. You've ruined everything. Grandma would be ashamed. I turned it off. Sat on the floor of my apartment staring at nothing. Was this really how they saw me? A thief? A liar? After everything I did for Grandma, the hospital visits, the late nights, the care no one else gave. None of it mattered. One accusation. And I was erased. I started doubting myself. Not about the bracelet, but about everything else. Maybe I was the outsider. Maybe I never belonged. Days passed and silence grew heavier. Until one night, I opened the old box Grandma had given me months ago. I had almost forgotten about it. Inside letters. Dozens of them. All addressed to me. My hands trembled as I picked one up. And that's when I noticed something strange. A small key taped to the back. My heart started racing. A key? To what? And why would Grandma hide it like this? The next morning I went straight back to Grandma's house. No one was there. My hands shook as I walked into her room, scanning everything. Think, Elena, think. Then it hit me. The old bookshelf. the one no one ever touched. I pulled the books aside, and there it was. A small metal lock hidden behind the panel. My breath caught.
This is it.
I inserted the key. Clicked. The panel opened. Inside a safe. Hidden. Waiting. My pulse thundered in my ears as I slowly turned the dial. Whatever was inside, Grandma wanted me to find it. Not them. And suddenly, everything started to make sense. The safe door creaked open. Zach! The bracelet. Brianna's missing diamond bracelet. But that wasn't all. There were documents. Photos. A flash drive. My hands moved quickly, heart pounding. What is all this? I grabbed the nearest file, flipping it open. And froze. Bank statements. Transfers. Huge amounts of money, all linked to one name. Brianna? No way. I scrolled through more. Forged signatures. Unauthorized withdrawals. Even fake medical bills under Grandma's name. My stomach dropped. She's been stealing this whole time. My hands shook as I plugged in the flash drive. Videos loaded. Grandma sitting in this very room speaking directly to the camera. Alina, if you're watching this, it means they've already turned on you. My throat tightened. I knew Brianna was taking from me. Slowly, carefully, she thought I wouldn't notice. Tears filled my eyes. So I set a trap. My breath stopped. I moved the bracelet and waited. I knew she'd accuse someone else to cover herself. And she did. Me? Grandma's voice softened. You were the only one I trusted. I broke down. Not from pain. From truth. 2 days later, we all sat in that same living room again. But this time, I wasn't shaking. I wasn't silent. I placed the bracelet on the table. Gasps filled the room. Looking for this? Brianna's face went pale. Don't, I said calmly. Just watch. I pressed play. Grandma's voice echoed through the room. Every lie, every theft exposed. One by one their faces changed. Shock. Disbelief. Guilt. And Brianna? She collapsed into silence. Destroyed. My uncle couldn't even look at me. My aunt started crying. But I felt nothing. 'Cause in that moment, I didn't need their apology. I had something better. The truth. As I walked out of that house for the last time, I remembered Grandma's words. People show their true faces when money is involved. She was right. They all did. And mine, finally, was seen.